What's going on, everyone? So, everything's a rumor until it's true, but there have been a lot of rumors around the upcoming Scream 7 on, in particular, chase scenes from Sydney to her daughter Tatum to her husband Mark, right? And even potential chase scenes with other characters and stuff like that. So, if assuming the rumors are true, there are going to be several chase scenes in this film, and I'm here for it. Right? Like, that was one of the big gripes with like Scream 5 that a lot of people had, was like, hey, we didn't have any chase scenes, right? Like, there wasn't anything that was like, Ghostface tracking somebody down, chasing somebody down. Right? So they kind of gave you, few high tension. Like, the ladder scene was great in Scream 6. Right? Is that really a chase scene? No, but like, I thought it built tension. It did a good job. They did a good job in Scream 5 of building tension. Right? Like, look at Wes's scene, his death, for example, right? So Scream 5 did a good job building tension. Scream 6, I thought, had some good moments building that same tension. The bodega, they had some chase scenes in it. But they weren't to the standard that Scream kind of upheld early on, right? Like, Scream has had some of the best chase scenes in horror history. Immediately comes to mind that everyone talks about is the Gale chase scene from Scream 2, right? With the panels and stuff, and then Dewey ended up getting pokety poke, and luckily the scar tissue was there to save him and stuff. But we've had some chase scenes. You've had Sydney getting chased and running through the house, stuff like that. There appears to be several kind of extended chase scenes in this film, and I mean, depending on how you want to kind of interpret the rumors, even multiple with several characters, which, again, I am all for. Now, I have said, and I still stand by it, right? Like, a chase scene with Sydney isn't really it doesn't make you as anxious, right? Now, how do you solve that and fix that is the execution of the chase scene and the way that they go about it and the way that they approach that chase scene, right? Because Sydney being chased, you don't have there's not this assumption that she's going to die or that she might die. She's the face of the franchise, right? Are they really going to kill her in this movie? Probably not, right? So, at least, maybe at some point, because supposed to be getting Scream 8, 9, but they just got her back. They're using her as like the marketing ploy to, get her back. Like, she's not dying in this film, more likely than not. Again, never say never. I would be genuinely shocked if they kill her, right? And the backlash and uproar might scare them enough to not do that, right? So, when you see Sydney in a chase scene, there isn't that tension that builds to the way that some of these others do, right? Like, all of us, when we saw the doors close for Dewey, right, and the elevator doors, and he went back, all of us were like, oh my God, right? All of us knew what was coming. All of us saw what happened, right? Probably not getting that with Sydney. Probably not getting that moment with Sydney. So now her husband, I definitely think could be a possibility. That could be on the table. Her daughter, probably not. Again, I'd be a little surprised if they end up killing her daughter Tatum. But, she's not, like, they have Sydney. So, if I had to, rank it, right? Sydney, I think, is we'll give it a 1%, right? 1% chance. Her daughter, I'd give maybe a 10% chance, just call it that. Her husband, I think that could go 50-50. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they ended up taking out the husband just to kind of set the tone and have a character that people aren't really in love with, and kind of adds to Sydney's just trauma in her life. And now her daughter has to go through the same thing and all this stuff. And maybe that even causes a rift at some point, right? There's a lot of directions that they could go with that. But I'd also I would like to see some chase scenes with others, right? Characters that you can build that tension with. You can build that anticipation, right? Like, again, I default to Wes's scene because I thought they did a really good job of averting expectation while continuing to build and didn't overstay its welcome, right? How do you feel about Scream 5? I've been very critical of Scream 5, but I thought that was one of the things that they did very well, right? In Wes's scene, You knew he was going to die at some point, more likely than not, right? Because he was fair game, right? Obviously there were a couple, new cast members, but for the most part, you're like, okay, most of these guys are going to die. So he was fair game. So you have the anticipation that he's going to die. You have the buildup. You have kind of this angst of like, okay, is right now, he's opening the fridge. Oh, Ghostface is going to be right there. Oh, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And then shuts the door and there's nothing there. And then you get the music and stuff. So you're like, okay. All right. Okay, he's still alive. And you know it's coming. And it's just building that tension because you know what's coming and you're expecting it and you don't get that hit. So it just kind of keeps building. And then boom, he turns around and Ghostface is right there. And then you have the cool death. And then they follow that up with Judy. And it's just like, as an audience goer, you're like, oh, whoa, right? Like I thought that was a really good way of building that tension, right? Very similar to Gale in Scream 2, right? Like when they're doing with the panels and stuff, you're like, ugh, like he's about to like stab through it or something. He's about to like come around the corner. He's going to chase her. He's going to like break through it, right? Like there's just so much anticipation that you have. And then she goes in the closet, the door, doesn't lock and she's like, shoot. And then Ghostface is right there. He realizes who it is. And she pushes the thing down and then Dewey comes like lackadaisically in and it was just a great scene and moment, right? I want to get back to that. Slasher films and chase scenes, they just go hand in hand. And, Scream isn't the only franchise that's had some really good chase scenes. Obviously, you have I Know What You Did Last Summer with Sarah Michelle Gellar, Urban Legends, right, is another one that comes to mind with Tara Reid, right? There are several, but like those are the two that kind of like really popped in my head immediately. And so I want them to have chase scenes. I want them to hit on those chase scenes. I want them to, I'm all for having several. You don't want to have too many to where it kind of loses its luster. But if you have a handful of chase scenes, again, execution, delivery, the approach in which they go about those things, it can work and it can work fine, right? So to me, that's what I want to see. I'm excited because it appears like we're going to get several chase scenes. So to me, I'm one of those people, the more the merrier, but don't get carried away, right? It's like when somebody tells you to help yourself, right? Like, but if you go in there and take everything, it's just kind of like, come on, dude, really? Like, it's kind of where we're at with that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you pumped for a bunch of chase scenes? Do you want multiple? Do you think like, no, just one really good one or two or five? Like what are you okay with like every kill being a chase scene? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.